guys, welcome back to my channel. Woohoo! We are moving through the month of March. We have approached our final week and I cannot express my joy and gratitude that you chose to spend this time with me. Hey, what's up? My name is Rhea Petrie and you are here at the Rhealism channel. Whether you are on my YouTube, which is the Rhealism channel on YouTube, obviously, or if you are on my website, www.rhealism.com, the place where we talk about real life, real love, real people, and real relationships. Hey! All right, so let's jump to it. I'm not a singer. But you know what? Seriously, guys, in the midst of all this corona craziness, I just want to be myself and I do not want to stop the flow. I was tempted. I'm going to tell you, I was tempted. But I just want to give a shout out to all of you guys who gave me love and life and who comment. By the way, I appreciate those comments below. They never get old, so keep them coming. But it really did motivate me because I thought, oh, maybe I should take some time off and corona got everybody crazy. But guess what? Now we got more time and we could just catch up on people's videos. So I'm so excited. Thank you for joining me. As I mentioned, in case this is your first time visiting me, my name is Rhea Petrie. I'm a life and relationship coach, very passionate about love and about people and about talking to you about subjects that matter to me and things that I don't feel are often discussed. So you came to the right place. Are you ready? I'm gonna just roll you right on into our theme. So because we didn't have a real March Madness, Corona got us crazy. I decided to theme that for all my March videos. So we already talked about life and people in volume 1. We talked about dating and relationships. And guess what we gonna talk about now? Who is ready? Why is this always my go-to? Who is ready? Who is ready? Me. Who is ready? You. Us. Marriage, baby. The things that make me mad about marriage. And trust me, now I'm only 2 years in and we're not even at 2. We almost there. Hey babe, let me give you a shout out. But that don't mean that I don't have an opinion, okay? I've worked with couples for years and years as a therapist, as a life coach, relationship coach. And baby, I've witnessed, thine eyes have seen. And I'm sure whether you're married or single, you might be able to relate. So let's talk about March Madness Volume 3, marriage, baby. Hey, so I'm back. I just thought I would give a little plug to myself real quick. So in case this is your first time visiting me, the whole premise of the Rhealism channel and of my brand is the quality of a person who would understand what is real and possible in any given situation. And furthermore, not only knowing what's real and possible, but being prepared to deal with situations in a practical and effective way. So that's always going to be the undergirding, the theme, the current of the things that I talk about, and my approach to things, my perspective about things is always going to be effective, what's real, what's practical. So let's talk about it. So volume 3, baby. The one thing that I know, I came up with 6. I was trying to limit it, guys. I really, I took your advice. My video last week was short, but baby, this thing was on my heart. Maybe I should break it up into 2 parts. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a part 1 and a part 2. So yeah, I was thinking, I did Jeopardy style the first week. Last week, I gave everybody a name. I'm just going to let the spirit lead me on this one, but I'm going to start right like this, okay? And I know somebody else can feel me. You know what makes me mad about marriage? Now, granted, let me give you a little preface. This is generalizing, okay? So this is looking at not all marriage. And remember, this is March Madness. So I'm not here to just highlight the good. Yes, there is good. And of course, as I feel led, I'll share the good. But this is just me talking about the particular things that make me mad, that make my skin crawl, that make the steam come off my shoulders, that make my head feel like it's going to explode somewhere. That is what these things are. So let's talk about them. So for starters, how about this? You know what makes me mad is when people get married and selfishly they want to be single, for real, for real. I mean, it ain't rocket science, but guys, why get married? Like, why get married? I was gonna start, with the names like I did last week, and I'd have to say, this is just, you're a loser. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to be married, be married. If you want to be single, be single. It's just too much out here, too much time, too many precious moments in life. Don't waste it when you're really doing something and you really want to be something else. Just ride that thing out and be who you want to be. You got to be who you want to be. Free. If that's what you want, Please don't waste anybody's time, y'all. So if you're in a marriage and you really want to be single, you got to let that thing go. You got to let that thing go. Now, mind you, I am an advocate for marriage, so I don't want to be sounding like I'm too down for the cause to get rid of it. But come on, single is single, married is married. All right, guys, let's get to the second one. You know something else that makes me mad about marriage, and this is just marriage in general. Something else that makes me mad is that especially now in 2020, honey, in 2020, I feel like marriage gets a bad name, okay? That makes me mad, that marriage gets a bad name. And I'm going to give you a caveat, a slash. We oftentimes want to get up out of it the minute we get in it. I mean, now what I mean by that, and everybody says the first year, is rocky. Then they say, oh, the first 2 is rocky. Then it's like, oh, the first 5. Then they like the first 7. What is it, people? How many years before it gets smooth? Jeez. Okay, I'm not necessarily talking about me, but I'm just saying in general. No, but seriously, I think what makes me mad, let me stop being so silly, is that marriage does get a bad name. And I feel like in a lot of cases, people don't get the tools beforehand, which is kind of what impassions me. I like to make up words. I'm impassioned by premarital counseling and counseling couples before marriage that might, whether you're in a long-term partnership or whatever it is. I realize that people get married sometimes and they get culture shocked. And then they're like, oh, I'm up out of this thing. This is not for me. And you know why? It's because there was no preparation, or once you get in it, either spouse may not be open or receptive to getting the help. So it makes me mad that it gets a bad name, because there's so many beautiful things about marriage. And although I'm new in it, I'm still learning, but I had a lot of mentors and a lot of examples. And I'm always, even as a single person for 39 years, soaking up a sponge, just soaking up the information and what I'm learning through life experiences, through couples around me. It's all worth it. So no matter whether you're single or married, we can all receive from these unions and the lessons that are taught. So it just makes me mad that I feel like it gets a bad name, and we'd be so ready. We'd be ready to get on the first thing smoking to get up out of there. Just a little nugget, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't put this plug in there. But if you are one of those couples that feels like you just want to get up out of there, holla at your girl. Call me, email me, go to my website, contact me, put your message in there, whatever way you need to reach out. Not even if it's just me, it could be any other coach, therapist, pastor, spiritual leader, marriage mentor, whatever it is. I really encourage you. It is a blessing, and God has equipped people to act as such, where both parties can have an objective person, an objective voice. And sometimes you just need a little coach, a little help, the same way you have your physical therapist, the same way you have your nutritionist or someone to help. Obviously, we all know how to eat. We all know that when you sweat, that produces, sometimes, hopefully, it produces some weight loss. But nevertheless, look at it in the same way a personal trainer would. Sometimes you just need a little tweaking, a little nudge. So you guys, if you're going through a tough time and you're ready to jump ship like I was describing, just don't be afraid to reach out. You'll be happy in the end. All right, this next one is kind of funny, so I'm going to just preface it because this is for the saints out there. For all you Christians, all the believers, I come from a Christian community, proud believer, but I'm going to tell you, this is something that I truly, and I don't even know if I still understand it, but something that was told, taught, fed into my consciousness as a single person. And they said, marriage is not to make you happy, it's to make you holy. And I thought, oh, that sounds deep. That sounds good. What does that mean? What does that mean? And so it's not until you get in it and when you go through life's challenges, I'm like, to make me holy, I would have been a monk. I would have been a nun if I wanted to just be holy. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, that is tough. And it makes me mad because I thought, well, God, you can't get married to be happy these days. Who says that? The saints do. And I tell you this, I actually now am in real time in the process of understanding what that means. And the context that I would put on it, and this is, something that inspired my husband and I. We had a scripture printed on our wedding invitations. And what I can say about that, marriage is not to make you happy, but to make you holy, is that you really have to sacrifice self. So self is all about happy. What makes me feel good? I want to feel happy. That is what the self wants. In marriage, a lot of times, as we know, those of you who are new in or long time in, you make sacrifices. There are plenty a day that you may not be happy. And that doesn't mean you jump ship. So what I perceive to be the marriage is not to make you happy, but to make you holy. It's that we might have a lot of those times to where our happiness might not be at the forefront. We may not make our decisions based on what's going to make me happy, because it's not about the me. It ain't about the me, okay? It's about the you and me, the unit. So that's my little plug on that. All right, guys, hope you enjoying these. I'm trying to whip through these points in the interest of your viewing pleasure so we don't hit 30 minutes on this thing. But something else that makes me mad just generally about marriage is that I believe, especially in 2020, that it's glorified for all the wrong reasons. So while I had a point that said that I felt it got a bad name, I also feel the other side of that. There's always a flip side to every point. I feel like it's glorified for the wrong reasons. And the minute that people get in it, then they want to run up out of it. So I don't feel like it's equally as supported. So I'll explain what that means. So, of course, everybody's into love. Love, love, love. You got your posts. Everybody's in love, love, love. I want to be in love. I want to be married. I want to be the one. Da, 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 da. What is the one? Where is the one? But you let a couple come in with some marital struggles. It's like, oh, what? You don't need that. Nobody got time for that. And I will, proud moment, real talk moment. I was somebody that didn't have time for nothing. Guess what? That is not serving me well as a wife. It's not. I can be honest, because that's what this channel is about, being honest. So if you somebody out there, holla at me. I see you. We see each other. When you don't have time for nothing, that doesn't work well, okay? Because in marriage, baby, you're going to be forced to have all the time for all the things, and you have to find the time. So I just feel like what I hope to cultivate in this community. One, I believe in marriage. I do. I believe in healthy marriages with people who want to be married, not somebody who want to be single, somebody who want to be married. That's different. I do not support that. What I support, two willing parties, two 100% committed parties. And even if you fall to an 85%, your commitment needs to be 100. Even if life is, knocking you out and you losing your wind, because it can happen. Your commitment, though, if your commitment stays, I'm down for the cause. And so that is it kind of makes me mad. I feel like, on one end, we hype it up. Ooh, girl, wait when you get married. Well, I can't wait to get married. And then you get married and nobody wants to encourage you to stick the thing out. What part of the game is that, people? And you know what? I'm going to have to throw a little caveat on that. You know why that is? I feel like people overdo the good and they hide the bad. Now, granted, you got to protect your household. We talk about protecting your peace, PYP. You got a PYM. You do have to protect your marriage. True. But it doesn't mean you got to front like everything's all good. Because then you look up, people get divorced. You be like, well, wait a minute. Wasn't you just WCW, MCM, and you divorced in less than 7 days? Like, this what you be like, what? So, I'm not saying put your business. What I do not like is when people completely just lose the boundary and the whole world is in your inner details. Not saying that, people. But what I am saying is I think a lot of times couples overdo the good and underdo the bad. You got to be honest about the ups and downs, because once you come out of those bad, somebody else is going to go through that, and they need to know how to come out of that bad. So what better way than, hey, I've been there, done that. You get me. Here's what I did. Here's what I see. Devil don't want me to get this point out. No, this is not the Rona. This is just a cough. But you got to encourage each other to say, this is what I did. This is how I got through it. Because there's nothing like person-to-person testimony, person-to-person encouragement. So that's what I think. All right. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. I'm ready for my next one. You ready for my next one? Woo! What makes me mad? Remember, what makes me mad about marriage? The things you love are the things you hate. Now, granted, this is not rocket science. I know it's not rocket science because I know you've heard it, but I'm going to tell you what I mean. You guys are dating, you guys are in a relationship, it's all good, it's awesome, and you're like, ooh, my man is so attentive, or ooh, she is so attentive. This woman is just attentive, just all up, realizing my needs and attentive. Fast forward, you get married, she all up in my mix. She is up. Like the same thing you love is the thing you hate. So if somebody is attentive to you, because to be attentive, you got to be in somebody's mix. You got to pay attention to their nuances. You got to know and anticipate their needs. But guess what? Once you in that thing and you guys are in them quarters together, that very quickly can turn into, whoo, all up in my mix. Or I'll give you this one because this is real time, real talk, because I like to talk. So you get to dating somebody, oh man, we was talking for 8 hours. We got the best conversation. Fast forward to marriage. Woo, 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 woo. Talking. And I'm talking about me. I am the talker. So pray for Brother Andre, y'all, because I am the talker. I do know how to be quiet, but you love me for my talking, and now you don't love me for my talking. Which one is it? All right, so all of this is making me laugh. It's making me have a good time. Hopefully you're having a good time too. The last thing that I will say that I could say makes me mad about marriage is that it's not just easy. It's just not easy. It's not just easy to do. There's no blueprint. It's not to say that it's always hard, but it's not. One thing I know that you have heard, everybody in America or in other countries has heard, marriage is not easy. Marriage is work. And when you're single and you hear that, you're like, well, what does that mean? And so it makes me mad that it's not just easy. Why not? You're a good person. I'm a good person. You believe, I believe. You have core values that might align with my core values. What? Why doesn't it just work? It is an everyday enmeshing of emotions, moods, feelings, experiences, hurts, good things, bad things, dreams, habits, spending patterns, non-spending patterns, whatever, household chores, just personality styles, whatever, processing, conflict styles. Every day, it's a constant kneading together of those things, a meshing together, and it's just not easy. Now, there's support out there. There's people like me. You got a community hopefully around you that can encourage you. There's several books. Always check out my blog or my website, because I'm going to always be talking about relationships and marriage. So yeah, that's just something that makes me mad, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Share with me, like, subscribe, comment. What things make you mad? Even if you're not married, what are some things that make you mad? We're going to keep going with this topic because, as I mentioned, this is something that I never get tired of talking about, okay? All right, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed this time with me. I've certainly enjoyed this time with you. And because we're still in March, guess what time it is? That's right. You've watched my last 2 videos. It is time for the Rhealism. She did that for the month of March, okay? In honor of March Madness, in honor of Women's Month, because I love us women. I really do. I do love men now. Don't get it twisted. Love y'all. Remember, I said the snap is what makes things official, okay? So I'm going to highlight a sister friend of mine who I love and who has meant so much to me on my journey, who is also a fellow entrepreneur. And her name is, drum roll please, Melanie Welbeck. Hey, Nani! Girl, she did that, okay? My girl Melanie has some businesses under her belt. She's got Vision Designed, awesome graphic designer. Holler at her, check her IG page, go to her website. She's got promise.process.progress. Hello? Promise, process, progress. You better have your P's. Promise, process, progress. That is also a mental health platform that she has started. And here's the big drum roll. Brrr. Shameless. She's got Shameless. You guys check out my girls. Shameless Magazine. Go to shameless.com. I was blessed to be a contributor. I wrote an article on the 10 lessons I learned in marriage, which I will definitely be making come to life in a video because that thing just touched my heart. And I'm just so excited for her. She's got a GoFundMe. She's got a Kickstarter, I believe, one of the two. But she's looking for some support. I'm excited for her launch. So let's support my girl, Melanie, a.k.a. Nani. And I just want to say I love you. This girl is a powerhouse. I've been fortunate to hear her speak. She is real. She is raw, which is probably why God put us in each other's lives. But that's my kindred sister. I'm so excited for you. Thank you for your support of my marriage and of me and what I'm doing here. She has had a great hand on encouraging me to do this. So I just want to give some love back to you, Nani. Love you, girl. And Shameless is here. And I can't wait to see what the Lord uses you to take the world by storm in. So guys, we did it again. I'm sorry. This video probably went a little longer, but hey, we love it. We've got time, don't we? I can't wait till the month of April. Ooh, what are we going to talk about? I guess you'll have to come back and see. Peace. Thanks for visiting.